Hi, I'm Christina.
I'm Maya from Book and Dreams,
and welcome to a new video. Okay, so as you can see, today we're doing the anti-TBR tag. This was created by Nicole and her books. We will leave her channel down below and the link to the original video. So basically this is like books that you don't actually, or authors that you don't actually want to read. So, you know, not something that is not on your TBR. That's the anti-TBR. Okay, so
alright.
Let's just finish this and start.
Okay. First question. A popular book everyone loves, but you have no interest in reading.
Okay, so, like there's a bunch. I don't know, but I chose The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss.
Is that mine?
No.
Okay. I just knew a bunch of my books. So.
Velho got it as a present. Basically, I've heard like a lot of praises at the same time and a lot of negative things about this book. Also,
the only negative is that you won't get to see the sequel for like millennia.
Yes, I just wanted to say like there's a third book coming for like years now and it's still not here. 10 years. Okay, so 10 years. But I also heard that it's a very like the narrator is not certain what is unreliable narrator, and it's like kind of maybe really contemplative and like drags out, so I don't know. So but like literally like Name of the Wind, I won't read that.
It's good though.
Also big. Maybe I'll give it a try. Someone tried to convince me.
No, it's fine. If you don't want to, because if you get into it and you're like so excited, then you won't get to read anything for like millennia. Even though the second one is also as big as this one, but still.
Yeah.
All right. So for this, I basically picked anything by China. See, I can't say his name or her name. Even don't know what. Dude, prestani jesti moje tenisice.
My dog is eating her shoes.
Hold on.
Just a minute.
So China Mieville, I'm sorry, did not check how to say the author's name, but the author writes mostly like standalone fantasies, but it's like magical realism fantasies, very contemplative, whatever, when you have to think about them.
Contemplative?
Yes, that's that word. And yeah, I'm never in the mood for those. So I think I tried one, it did not get very far. And yeah, so, but he's very popular because he's apparently very good. But
No.
Okay. All right. Next question. Classic book you have no interest in reading.
Moby Dick. It's gigantic. Just gigantic. Also, I studied English, but there's a reason why didn't go into studying English literature, because I am not a person for classics.
Yeah.
That doesn't, like, this is gigantic, so I just chose this one. But basically, like, anything classic will do. I particularly don't like Sylvia Plath, for example. Like, if I never get to read anything by her ever again, I'll be just fine. I had to read some for my classes. Didn't mesh well with that. So kind of, you know, just, yeah, not a classics person.
All right. Yeah, basically not the classics. I mean, like not any of them, because but I'm gonna mention The Count of Monte Cristo because it's been getting more and more popular, because some of the more popular booktubers have been reading it lately, and everybody's like, oh, let's read that. No, I'll watch the movie. And with any classic, because it's not something. I mean, it's classic for a reason, I guess, but it also means it's like interesting for the time it was written, and those times are very boring. And yeah, not interested in classic. I think the only classic I read that I liked was Jane Eyre, and that was also long. And Pride and Prejudice, but I read that a bunch of years ago. And I don't really remember much.
I'm not sure if you.
And Dostoevsky, I like Dostoevsky.
Oh, okay. But like, do you include like more like contemporary classics here, for example?
No, I think this was like a question for like
the
classics.
Classics. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one.
Next question. An author whose books you have no interest in reading.
Brando Sando.
Brando Sando. Okay. Ow! First of all, your dog just. almost
Snoopy,
poked my eye out.
come here.
But
Okay.
yeah, Brandon Sanderson
I
is
mean-
very, very
No, okay,
specific.
so,
I mean, it's like,
let's start with this. I have to explain this. So first off, every single like plot line that I've heard mentioned from his books sounds awesome.
it does. It is awesome.
It really sounds awesome. However, first off, his books are gigantic, and I have come to realize that if books have like, I'll do 500. I'll even do like 600. I'll manage that. But like anything above that, like in page count, is really difficult for me. Like I have a really hard time, like just going through those books. It puts me actually in a very big slump. Psychologically, I'm like, I feel so stressed. So I just tend not to read big books anymore. That big of a book. Because it stresses me out.
Yeah.
And he has gigantic books, like,
And
and
also-
a million of them.
And also, his books are mostly like 80% setup and then 20%
Yeah, there you
of
go.
like action in the end, and so
Yeah.
you
So
have to
like,
go through a lot.
so
too.
technically, like the plot lines sound awesome, and like I do have an interest, but I don't think I will ever read it because of how big the books are.
That's why you do audiobooks. But okay, yeah, I get it.
What's yours?
I picked David
Oh.
Mitchell because I started Cloud Atlas, gave up. I started the bone thing. There's one with clocks and bones and stuff. I started that one too. Also gave up because it was, as I said, contemplative.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to think about it a lot, which makes me sound not good and stupid. But I'm like, I don't like books where I have to like sit back and like I have no idea what just happened. Let's just figure it out, because no, I like stuff to be plain, and I like stuff to be like given to me. Because I'm not saying I'm a lazy reader, but I'm kind of a lazy reader.
And that's okay.
And
You can
and
be a
David,
lazy
David
reader.
Mitchell writes books that are a bit complicated and that require work. And sometimes I really don't want work when I'm reading stuff, and which is kind of weird because I read Brandon Sanderson and he also requires kind of work, but this work has like magic and fantasy, and this is more magical realism, alternate stuff. I don't even know. I just saw the Cloud Atlas movie and it's weird, and yeah,
Okay.
no, not for me, I guess. Next question. Question 4. An author you have read a couple of books from, but discovered they're not for you.
So I have actually 2 answers for this, and I'm just gonna preface this by saying that I am not giving up necessarily on these authors. I would try them again. Just they're not my priority in like no means my priority. So first one is Stephen King. I think I read like 4 or 5 of his books up to this point, and I have not genuinely liked a single one of them.
Okay.
Like, I see the value of them.
Okay.
Like, for example, oh my god, the one with the hotel and the child, Red Rum. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Everybody like
Everybody knows this. Not
Shining. The Shining.
The Shining.
The
Like,
Shining.
I understand how brilliant it is,
But you didn't like it?
but it was just like
Meh.
okay.
It's a
Meh. Yes. I absolutely hated Carrie, and Carrie is one of my favorite movies of all time, but absolutely hated the book. I think short stories I can deal with.
They're
Short
good.
stories
I
are
love his
okay,
short stories.
but just like generally, but he has written in so many different genres. So maybe I like in my head I'm still thinking I just haven't found the genre that appeals to me like enough. So I'm gonna try probably some more books. I actually have here on my TBR cart a bit. I think 2 of them. But like for now it's just like And the other author is Seanan McGuire / Myra Grant. I'm really sorry, but all of their books have been kind of a bit also meh. Like, I liked a couple of the Wayward Children series. 3 books I really enjoyed, but the rest were just like, not flatline, but just like, you know, not here nor there. They were just like, oh, okay. I enjoyed them. I'm not mad that I read them, but I didn't get much out of them. I don't necessarily remember what happened in some of them. Like, we read Feed by Myra Grant. Myra Grant. And I absolutely love the main character. And then something happens. And
At the
end, which made me be like, I'm not gonna read anymore. What the fuck? I'm just not. Like, I don't like this. And it just, and Into the Drowning Deep.
I like that one.
I read the short story. I read the novel. And it was like, besides the wine scene that was like really scary, I was also like, nah. So I just, yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna
continue with
like maybe someday, maybe middle game, because like everybody,
I want to read middle game though.
Because that's like Morby. And what is it said? Maybe sounds more, and I said more. Maybe sounds more like up my alley, so we'll see. But like those two.
All right, for this one I picked Pierce Brown because somehow he's getting more and more popular right now. So basically, I've read the first trilogy of the Red Rising. So I read Red Rising, Morning Star, and the third one, or whatever. Golden Sun.
That's like the only one I know.
I don't know. I read those. And my first gripe was that it's science, because the first one was like, oh my god, it's Hunger Games in space. Now, it was basically the only space thing, and that was that it's set in Mars, and you find that it's set in Mars and nothing else is like science-y or fiction-y about it. Oh. And the main female character was so, I disliked her so much, and I could not tell you why. I know how, because the main guy, this is the main character. The plot of this book is basically, it's like, it is the Hunger Games. You have castes, and one of the lower castes transforms himself to become one of the upper class, so he can participate in this competition to get into this military school. And then from there on, he's supposed to like work with the rebels and basically dismantle the whole society. And while he's doing that, the entire time he's thinking about his fucking girlfriend, not from the lower class, but from the upper class one that he gets in the whatever first book and so on. And he's like, there's a scene in the second book. The final battle is happening. They're like moving from space to a planet, and the entire time he's in this death trap, trying to get to this spot. He's like, oh, I wonder what she's doing. I'm like, I was so fucking annoyed. I mean, there are some very cool characters and some very cool stuff that's happening in those books, but like the whole, I don't know, I just have this like against the female character, and I could not work past it. And I'm like, I think he wrote like 2 more books in the series, and now everyone's like rereading the first one and getting into it. He's becoming more and more popular, which is great for him. But I am not going to read anything from him because I'm just afraid that it's going to happen again, and I just don't want to go through that again, because you know, I want to be like the one who hates female characters, but because, you know, other, it's so stupid, and I just can't pass through it, and just no. All right, next question. A genre you have no interest in reading.
Literary fiction.
What she says.
Like literally fiction. I tried so hard. I really tried. And
it's like my father, like the Oscars were recently, and my father was like, oh, did you watch Nomad? I'm like, I am not going to watch a 2-hour movie about some woman who lives in an RV van and thinks about her life. That's literary fiction. I don't want to do that. I want plot. I want stuff exploding. I want like magic to happen.
You want Mad Max.
Yes, that would be a very cool living in a van movie, thinking about their life if there's like explosions and stuff. But like, it's not. I don't know. I don't find it exciting, and I don't find it engaging to read. And I found it more compelling, and I could relate to more of the, like you talked about Sean McGuire. The Jack and Jill books were amazing to me, and because I could relate on like having sisters and everything. Yeah. It's just, I don't know, I just couldn't find anything, and I just don't really want to try and look through all stuff.
I find literary fiction to be very also sad and difficult. There's always so. I mean, I understand.
It is like discovering and exploring the human nature.
Yes.
But can't you do it with magic in it? I'm kidding, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my husband loves that kind of thing, and I'm just like watching him, like, oh my god, no.
My mom reads a lot of those.
But I understand people who love this. I understand, like, but for me, like you said, I want my books to not make me, like, if I want to think about something, okay, I'll pick up a book that I want to think about. But mostly, I just want, like, shapeshifters and vampires and like also like cases,
escape from reality,
romance,
escape reality, not like read about a woman who lost her husband and kid and now she's traveling through whatever and discovering herself again. Like, that's not of interest to us. So
maybe not of interest. It's just too real, and we just don't want too real in our books.
Apparently. Yeah. All right. Next question. A book you bought but will never read.
I think it's gonna be this one, A Darker Shade of Magic by Victoria Schwab. So, like, look, don't get me wrong. I think this is the book where there's 4 Londons.
Yes.
And that is so appealing to me. Like, that is so appealing. But I have had this book for, I think, 3 years now. And I have never included it in a single TBR. I have never made a plan to read it. It just sits on my bookshelves, and like it's looking at me, and I'm like, I'll read it someday, and I never do, like never. And like it's the book I bought. Like I have other books that I like this, but I haven't bought them. So but this is the one I actually specifically bought because I wanted to read it, and I just never did. And I'm still not putting it on any of my TBRs, so I'm not sure this is gonna happen. Although it sounds really good, and I like the covers. I really love the covers in this series, but like, I don't know. Yeah.
All right. For me, is the 2 Becky Albertalli books that I got.
Oh yeah.
I have the Upside, the one Requited, and I have the one she wrote with the Adam Silvera, the What If This Is Us. Oh my god!
What If This Is Us?
Yeah,
is it because one. I told you that?
No, it's like it's there. It has been like
this one
for like 4 years now, and it's like it's not happening. I don't think it will ever happen. So I think it's gonna put them in the on hold book to give it to our library unless you want them, because it's like
I unhold mine.
See, I'm like not at all interested anymore, because I think I wanted to read because of Simon and the Homo Sapiens Agenda, which I didn't read also, but I don't think that's the same author. Is that the same author?
Yes, it is. It's Becky Albertalli.
All right. So basically, it was in at that time when it was all very popular and everything. Oh,
I think it was. I think we just started doing this.
Yeah, and it was
when we bought those.
It was before that also, like when I discovered.
Or maybe even like. I remember you bought it at Italy then, and I remember I also bought it, and like we bought like a bunch of same books.
Yeah, because like, oh, I heard of this one.
Yeah. It's like the thing when you first start this and you just kind of pick everything up without really thinking whether you are gonna read it. Yes. So yeah.
Next question: a series you have no interest in reading,
or a series you started and have DNF'd.
Oh yeah.
So I wrote down 2. Actually mentioned one like a couple of minutes before, and that is Newsflash by Myra Grant. As I said, the first one was okay. I really enjoyed the main character, and then something happened which made me not want to read anymore. So unfortunately, I will not be continuing with that one, although it was interesting. I think that might be the most interesting one I've read by
her.
Yeah.
And now you've given up on the entirety of the work.
And the next one is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ida. It's a duology, and I read the first one, and I actually kind of liked it.
Is that the Mulan one?
Yes.
Yeah, I read that one too.
Well, I kind of liked it, but I just never, like at the time when I finished it, I was like, oh, I have to read the sequel, but I never did, and I don't feel enough, like pull to finish it, so I don't think I'll be finishing that one.
All right, I have a bunch of fantasy and one sci-fi one. So fantasy one, anything by Cassandra Clare is just, I think I don't want people to get mad at me, but Cassandra Clare is the Sarah J. Maas of her time. The first book is awful, and the later ones, I hear, get better and better and better, but like she has like a big backlog that I'm not really interested in reading at all, because I tried the first one and I just couldn't even get through the half of it. It was awful. And also I hear the author is not a very good person as well. That usually doesn't bother me, but in this one I'm more familiar with details than I want to be, and it's just like, no.
Really?
Then Aragon by Christopher Paolini. I read. Did I read the first one till the end? I don't think I did, because I was reading it and I was like, this is basically Lord of the Rings but stupider. So no. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. No, because I read the first one
you
and I
really
hate
that
read it because
one.
I don't like it when everyone's like evil and mean for no fucking reason, just because it's like it's their like personality trait, you know. We're fey and we're bitchy. I'm like, fuck you, no. And then The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, because I read the first one and it wasn't funny. Everybody was like, oh my god, it's hilarious. I did not think it was funny.
That's why she's my girl.
I was like, I'm expecting the humor. I'm like waiting for stuff. I didn't even chuckle. I didn't do shit. So I'm reading it, and it was like, I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed the movie because I like Martin Freeman, and he does no wrong in my eyes. But basically, the book was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I understand where they wanted to be funny, and I understand it's like specificity of British humor and everything, but I didn't think it was funny, and I'm not gonna read the rest of the series.
I totally forgot about that one. I even have like the whole
you have a whole omnibus, right?
Bind up, of all the 5 books, I think, because my husband really loves it. Like he read, I think, the entire thing, and
nope.
No.
New release you have no interest in.
Okay, so I have not been following like lately because work has been hectic, really hectic. So I don't know actually, besides the new releases that I'm actually interested in. I haven't paid attention to what is being released. I could say that first off, Riley Sager, although everybody kind of seems to like him, I've never had much interest in like reading his work. I would get the books because they have really colorful covers, but that's basically it. Not really interested. And one other author that I genuinely don't think I'll ever read from again or like look up if they've had any new releases is Sarah Smith, because it's a romance author. I actually haven't read Simmer Down. I DNF'd the book at like 40% or something like that because I had a real problem with the characters and like a real problem with the plot line, and I think she could be great for some people, but she's just not for me. So
yeah, same as she. Basically, I know the books I'm interested in, and I haven't really been watching YouTube for the last month to I mean, you know, I usually watch much better. I'm not following along at all. So I don't know what is popular right now to sort of say that that's not something I'm interested in. I was going to mention Nadia Okorafor because I did not like Binti at all. I read all 3 of them, but did not like them. But her new book sounds very interesting. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't have anything to add. If we think of something, we'll write it down. But so far, nothing.
That's it.
All right. So that was the tag. If you want to do the tag, feel free to do so. If you've read any of the books that we mentioned, or do you agree or disagree with us, please let us know down below in the comments.
Please like, share, subscribe. Press the bell button if you want to get notifications whenever we post new videos.
And check out links in the description box. Very important stuff. Go check it out. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you
in our next
one.
video. No. Bye.